Welcome to Your Wellness Matters, a space where we talk honestly about pain, well-being, and the human experience behind it. In this episode, we're talking about something that often goes unspoken. What happens to our sense of identity when pain becomes part of our lives? Because pain doesn't just affect how we move, it affects how we see ourselves. Many people living with ongoing pain say things like, "I don't recognize myself anymore." They don't mean it dramatically, they mean it quietly. They notice they're less spontaneous, less confident, less certain. Pain slowly changes how people relate to their own bodies, and eventually how they define themselves. This shift often happens gradually, which makes it harder to notice and harder to grieve. Much of our identity is built on what our bodies allow us to do. We identify as the active one, the reliable one, the strong one, the caregiver, the golfer, the worker who never stops. But when pain interferes with these roles, it doesn't just limit activity, it challenges identity. People are not only losing movement, they are losing meaning. When pain limits ability, people often experience a quiet internal conflict. On the outside, they adapt. However, on the inside, they struggle. They may feel useless, guilty, like a burden, and be ashamed of asking and needing help. These feelings are rarely expressed openly. Instead, people push themselves too hard or withdraw completely. Both responses are attempts to protect identity. The grief associated with pain-related identity loss is rarely acknowledged. There is no ritual for it, no permission to mourn it. People are often told, "At least it's not worse. You should be grateful. Others have it harder." While often well-intended, these messages invalidate real loss. Grief does not require comparison to be valid. Loss of identity hurts, even when it looks small from the outside. One of the most destabilizing aspects of ongoing pain is the loss of trust in the body. The body becomes unpredictable. It hurts without warning. It reacts differently from one day to the next. It no longer feels reliable. Psychologically, this creates insecurity. People stop trusting their instincts. They hesitate. They second-guess themselves. This loss of trust feeds anxiety, and anxiety feeds pain. Over time, pain can shrink a person's world. Plans are avoided, social events are declined, spontaneity disappears. Life becomes carefully managed. This narrowing is often misunderstood as disinterest or withdrawal, but in reality, it is self-protection. The person is trying to preserve what little energy, dignity, and control they feel they may still have. One of the most important psychological shifts for people in pain is this: identity cannot rest solely on function. When identity is tied only to productivity or physical ability, pain feels like erasure. Rebuilding identity involves asking difficult questions. Who am I beyond what my body can do? What still matters to me? What parts of me remain unchanged? This is not easy work, but it is stabilizing work. Pain-related identity loss is often accompanied by shame. People compare themselves to who they used to be, who others appear to be, who they think they should be. Shame always thrives in silence. When pain is hidden, identities suffer further. Being seen and understood matters more than most people realize. Rebuilding identity does not mean pretending pain doesn't exist. It means integrating pain into a broader sense of self without letting it define everything. This can involve redefining success, revaluing rest and pacing yourself, finding meaning outside performance, allowing identity to evolve. Identity is thus not lost. It is simply reshaped. At Your Wellness Matters, pain support includes space for identity, not just symptoms, not just techniques, but the person living inside the pain. Support focuses on preserving dignity, rebuilding confidence, supporting autonomy where possible, and respecting grief without rushing it. Healing is not only physical. You are not failing because pain has changed you. Change is not loss. It is adaptation. Identity can grow even in the presence of pain. Pain doesn't just affect the body. It affects how we see ourselves, how we relate to others, and how we imagine our future. In the next episode, we'll explore how pain affects relationships and why pain is rarely experienced alone, even when it feels isolating. Take a breath, be kind to your body. Relax, recharge, and remember, your wellness matters more than you think.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.